Sometimes exotic animals are found really far out of their natural range. Like Dixie. Dixie is an African spur-thighed tortoise, also known as a sulcata tortoise, and she was found right here in New Jersey. Dixie was brought to us by animal control. She was found just roaming around, not even near any houses. So who knows how long she's been out of containment. She either escaped or was ditched. She's a stunning example of a sulcata tortoise. She's not perfectly smooth. A lot of them are very deformed from improper care, but she does have a really nice carapace with just minimal pyramiding. She's super personable. She's an absolute joy to interact with. She also gets along beautifully with the other tortoises in this particular pen, which is a major plus for us. Now Mickey is an Aldabra tortoise. He's eventually going to get massive and have to be moved out of this and have to basically have at least half our property. But Dixie will be able to reside in this pen like he has, and it's got a heated shed and all the different things that tortoises need to do well. But the big problem with sulcatas is that dealers that sell them still will lie about how big they get. That's not all. There are plenty of responsible breeders out there that produce sulcata tortoises, but a lot of them are just animal flippers that sell them for a quick buck, and they lie, especially to children, about how big they get. These animals get really huge, and Dixie's a female, so she's the smaller of the genders. Males get even larger. I think they can get up to like 30 inches, weigh over 100 pounds. Dixie right now is about 60 or 65. If you're at a reptile show or you're in a pet store or you're shopping online because you want a baby tortoise, it doesn't really matter what species it is. Cross-reference everything and double-check what you're being told. We all have smartphones now, folks, so you can easily Google the truth about these animals by going to Wikipedia, tortoise websites, or YouTube channels like ours that will always tell you the truth. This is what you're looking at for a female, and you're looking at even bigger for males. And one last thing, these animals can dig massive, deep burrows. So if you keep them and you do need to move them inside or your fence is not secure enough, pay close attention to how deep and how fast they're getting to that depth, because that's how things like this happen. Dixie didn't have a home. Luckily, now she does. So, Dixie's a sulcata tortoise, which means she's a grassland species, and she is at home grazing and eating as much grass and other vegetation that she possibly can. So this is one of the things we have to do with her, is we just kind of bring her around the yard periodically and let her do her job. Essentially, she's mowing it for us. If you looked closely at the pen that she was in, that pen is starting to become bare because of the amount of grazing that's done in that between her and the other tortoises. Dixie's gonna get to enjoy the rest of the summer out here and of course into the fall. And she will come inside just like the other large tortoises. And we have an entire building to house these animals, along with our rhino iguanas, to get them safely through the winter. And this is just some of the specifics behind how to properly house these animals. You can't leave them outside in winter, and she would have died if animal control didn't find her in time before it got too cold. So pretty much Dixie will have until about Halloween before it's going to be time to start getting her ready to come indoors here in South Jersey. For now, she's under the sun, in the heat, doing fantastic, and we have absolutely no complaints about this animal. She's wonderful. But Dixie isn't the only animal that has recently come to live at Garden State Tortoise. Folks, we've got our hands full, and you're not going to believe what else we just took in. Here is yet another exotic animal that was found in New Jersey. This is a young male Chinese box turtle that was discovered just walking across a lawn in northern New Jersey. Now, interestingly, Chinese box turtles are extremely cold tolerant. We never bring ours inside here, and we're standing inside our Chinese box turtle pen. This little male could have been living in New Jersey for years before he was finally discovered. He's very shy, so he is acting like a wild turtle. He's kind of closed up almost completely like box turtles can, so it's very possible that he's been out there living kind of wild for a very long time. He's doing really well, getting along with the group, and of course he's loving the females in here, but I just wanted to show you another example of an animal that comes from a completely different country that someone either just lost or purposely released into the wilds of New Jersey. Common snapping turtles. We just got 6 of them, and they were sent to us from Mystic Aquarium in Connecticut, where they were being held after being confiscated by Connecticut Fish and Wildlife. There's actually 18 of them or more. I can't remember exactly what they said, but it was an entire clutch or more of babies that Fish and Wildlife found in a house that someone abandoned. So this person went out and took these turtles, or took their eggs and then hatched them illegally, and then just ditched them when they ditched their home. So the aquarium has been raising them, and it's been kind of a group effort between different wildlife agencies and zoos trying to figure out the best home for them. We couldn't take all of them, but we agreed to take 6 of them. They are doing really well. They're beautiful. You don't usually see snapping turtles with this kind of coloration and markings on them. These turtles are young. They're definitely not full grown yet. They're probably between 7.5 and maybe 8 inches. They have a ways to go, but we're gonna take them and release them here in the big pond with a stream and various bodies of water behind us, where they will not bother anybody or anything, and they'll have plenty of room and they'll be properly contained. So it's a happy ending for them. A lot of work for us, but they're just so cool. They're so awesome. Look at that. Totally underrated turtle. So this pen is really massive. The turtles are gonna have plenty of room, to the point where they can actually stay out of each other's ways and each other's business if they really want to. And there's different water depths at different intervals in all the different bodies of water in here, as well as a running stream and the mini aquascape pond that Aquascape put in for us last year when they built our big aquascape pond. So I released the snapping turtles by 2s so that they could start finding their own little niches in here and just get used to the habitat without interrupting each other. So I put 4 of them up front in the main body of water there, 2 on one end, 2 on the other end by the mouth of the stream, and then I put 2 of them in this little aquascape pond here. And now they can just start moving around and figuring out where they like to be most. There's plenty of mud, there's filters, there's aeration in here. The turtles will be able to live their lives comfortably 24/7 in this massive enclosure. And the only other thing utilizing it are box turtles that use the land areas mostly. So Garden State Tortoise has become quite the rescue over the years, and we're happy to be refuge and home to a wide variety of reptiles, not just tortoises. But just like the sulcata tortoise that we just introduced you to and the snapping turtles, these redfoot tortoises were all surrendered to us. They're all rescues, some of which have really been grown improperly, some of them not so much. But it never fails. There's so much inaccurate information out there that supersedes the proper information, and people just don't want to do their homework. Hey, sometimes things happen and you just want to find the right home for your animal, and that's what we're here for. But I guess what I'm trying to say is just pay close attention, do as much research as possible so that you can be a lifelong home for the animal, or at least provide the absolute best care that you can for while you have it. We're thrilled to be able to offer these animals a home, and they really become family to us. But for many of them, it's really a sad situation what they've gone through over the years. Sometimes when you look at a tortoise and you see that improper growth, you think, it's just cosmetic. Well, sometimes that's the truth, but other times, there's some serious bad stuff going on internally as well. These animals are supposed to live really long lives, and as a family, we are super happy and proud to be able to offer them what we need, but you can do it too. You just gotta do your homework and make sure you fully understand the commitment that an animal like this really, really requires.